Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to talk about minima. And why are we talking about minima is because when we design neural networks, what we are trying to do is we are trying to reduce the error. And this error usually is associated with the weight matrix. And what we try to do is if we look at the weights down here, and if you look at the error, we try to adjust the weights such that the error is low. And usually, if we try to look at there, it could be like this, it could be like this, it could be like this, or it could be any other shape. Right? So the point of the optimization is to find the best possible weight, right? The best possible weight. And what is the best possible weight? The best possible weight is where we have the smallest possible error. So let's say this is the lowest point in this entire curve, then that's the lowest error we get if we use these weights. And that area of that task of finding that weight with lowest error is called as optimization. Now so here we are trying to find the lowest value. You could also flip that and try to find the highest value of something, of some function which doesn't have to be error, and that's where we'll say that we are maximizing the value. Now, with reference to neural networks, we'll assume that we are looking at an error. And this function, we looked at Taylor series, and we said that we were working with a function called f of x. And let's now, when we see the function f of x, let's think that it is representing some sort of an error. Now, in finding these errors, there are different terminologies associated with it. One is called as a strong minimum. Then we have a global minimum, and then we have a weak. Then we have a weak minimum, and then we have something called as a saddle point. I'll explain each of these with examples. With the strong minimum, what we are saying is that there is if I am looking at a curve such as this one above, then or we could draw another one. So if I draw if our f of x looks like this, and the lowest point that we have in this particular curve happens to be this one, then if we take a small, if we are standing here, if we take a small step in any direction from that point where we are standing, which we represent by x star, then the f of x increases, right? So that's what so that's the lowest possible value for f of x at the point where we are standing, which is x star, and that is called as a strong minimum. And we can write that in mathematical words as follows. uh, we can say that f of x star is less than f of x star plus delta x. Now what delta x here denotes? That denotes um, not that's the step size. So this is the step size vector. So it tells us two things. It tells us the magnitude, so how big of a step we are taking, and it also tells us the direction, so what direction we are going. So what in a sense this tells us is that if I am standing at x star, and if I take any tiny step in any direction from x star, then the value that I get for f f of x or the function, it is higher than where I'm standing at. So I could go here, that's higher. I could go here, it's higher. This is a 2D case, but we'll see pictures of this in 3D, and you'll get what that means. But before we get there, let's look at global minimum. And because there is a global, there is also a local minimum. So the idea here with the global minimum and the local minimum is as follows. Let's say we have, let's me draw this. We have something like this. That's our f of x. Now, if we look at the minima on these two, we have one minimum here and we have another minimum here. Let's say we just put a w for x-axis. Doesn't have to be w in this case, but this could, in this case, this I'm saying w, but it's actually x because we are using f of x and not f of w. So that's, let's write x here, but you can think of this as, if you are thinking error, then it could be w. Now this is called as a local minima, this is called as a global minima. And why is this a local minimum? Because if I step outside of this position, this point, and look around the surface f of x, there is a minima that exists in that f of x that is further lower down than the local minima that I am at. And so this is local minima, and global minima is such that if I were to find any other minima in the f of x surface anywhere, it won't be there because I'm already at the lowest possible point on that surface, and so that is the global minimum. Okay. And we can write that for global minimum, we can say that f of x star is less than f of x star plus delta x for all delta x that is not equal to 0. So what we are saying is we are not stepping on the same point, we are stepping at least some distance, infinitesimally small distance away from where we are standing, and wherever we go, we are going to uh, find a value that's higher than where I'm at. So that is the uh, global minima. And how is that different from the first case is, here we say that a scalar delta exists, a delta in the sense that imagine a sphere or a bubble around the point where we are standing, x star, that represents the local region, and we say that the norm of delta x is greater than 0 but it is less than delta. So that is what this strong minimum is about, and here we are saying we are open to searching anywhere in the f of x space that we have, the surface that we have. Weak minimum is something different, where we say that I'm at a point where there is no way I can go further down on f of x, but I could go up. So imagine I have a point something like this, something like this. Let's say this is a horizontal line, and maybe we go up here, and I'm standing at a point on this. It could be maybe somewhere here or somewhere here. This can be thought of as a weak minimum because and this is f of x. So this is still f of x. So what is happening here is I cannot go down. So the f of x never goes down, dips down below where I'm at any position on this. So I'm on a plateau, flat. The best, the what can happen is I could go up on f of x but never go down. And this is the weak minimum. And to write that out, we say that f of x star is uh, less than or equal to f of x star plus delta x. And again, this is true for all delta where the step size or norm of x is greater than 0 but less than delta, where delta is greater than 0. So these are the three main or four main concepts. Another concept is called as a saddle point, and with a saddle point, so here we say that we are at a point where we can only either go up or stay where we are as far as height. If you are standing on a hill, at a saddle point, it works two ways. Let me draw this something like this. And if I were to draw a line through that, let's draw a line, let's draw a dotted line or a dashed line. So if I go along that line, let's say if I go along this line, then things change, and if I go along this line, things change the other way. Not clearly visible in this, but I'll show you a plot where this should be pretty clear. What I'm trying to say is, if I move along one direction, the only way is up. If I move along other direction on the at the same point, the only way is going down, and that's the saddle point. Here is a plot. That function is f of x, as you can see written here on the left hand side, and there are these two dots in red that show the minima. This dot shows the local minima, because although this is minimum at this particular point, if we look at the entire curve, there is another minimum. So we just say that this is local minima, and this is a global minima, because in the entire f of x curve that we have on the screen, this is the only lowest point we have. So that's the global minima, that's the local minima. Next, if we look at uh, let's look at the 3D part first. So this is the let's say f of x that we have, and shown here by the equation on the left hand side. We see that this again has two dips. So we have one here, one here. There is a red dot, and as we saw earlier, this is the local minima, as you can see, because there is another minima on that surface which is right here. This is a global minima because there is no point on the f of x surface on the screen here which has a point lower than this one. So that's the global minima. And the saddle point is shown here by the green dot, as you can see right from here. If I in case of saddle point, if I move along this direction, which is, if you see like this, the only way, if I step either direction, left or right, the only way is down. Whereas if we look at it from this side, like this, then if we step either left or right from that point, the green dot, the only way would be up, both on left or right. So that's the saddle point, and that is uh, sort of the analogy would be the saddle on a horse's back. That's how this shape looks, where the point is. And if we look at the contour plot of this, let's go to the 2D view. This is how it looks, and this is the minima. This is another minima that we saw. We can plot these. That's the saddle point shown here by the diamond. This plus up there, that's the local minima, which is this one. Then the other minima that we see down below, that's the global minima, and this is the contour plot. As we have discussed previously, the line, each line tells us that the height, if you are standing on that line on a hill, the height from the bottom of the hill up to where we are standing is the same along that particular line. Next, let's look at yet another plot. which is this one, and we can look at the 3D first. So I'm going to plot that here, and this is the surface. As you can see, this surface is such that we have this line. If you walk along this line, which is this coordinate axis, as you see, which is y, there is the slope is 0. It's flat, right? The slope is 0, and if we move either way along the x axis, x direction, then the only way is up. And we can look at that in this 2D plot, where we can see uh, the yep. So that, I think that's the direction for, no, that's not the direction. So let's say that was y is equal to 0. If I put, oh, never mind. So here, this is the contour plot of what we just saw, where we have this uh, part in the center, which even if we move, it doesn't, the slope doesn't change in that central part of the figure, and that's what we call as a weak minimum. So here, yeah, so the slope doesn't change. Here we saw that that's the flat part. Here we are saying that that's the center part. So the only way is up, and that's pretty clear from this one. You can look at the, play around with the plots. I'll put a link in the description so you can see that the only way is going up or staying on the same height. So that was it for this video. I hope in this video you got an intuition about what is minima, what are different types of minima, and how to visualize them. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please do let me know in the comment section below. I hope to see you all in the next video. Thank you.